fuego, caliente, fuego, hot, fuego, fuego, it's hot, fuego, it's hot, fuego, hot, fuego, fuego, hot, fuego, caliente, fuego, hot, fuego, fuego, it's hot, fuego, caliente, fuego, hot, fuego, fuego, it's hot, fuego, caliente, fuego, hot, fuego, fuego, it's hot, fuego, it's hot. Things itching with the ticks, I can teach arithmetics. John Wick with the stick, hit man with the shits, kick though, get it licks, contraband, taking shit, extra shot to the head, just in case he faking it. Tony Dobbins, FA mobbing, chop,
Alright, welcome to the Naked Truth Network.
I'm on there.
Oh, there we go.
All right, welcome everybody to another moment with the Naked Truth, your political hip hop outlet. I'm Jimmy the Square Guy, the one talk fly to you before he lie to you, and Jay Destiny.
And Destiny. Let's get this party started. What you got today?
Oh man,
So much.
but first of all, I want to say something about this.
Okay.
Are you familiar with an artist named A$AP Rocky?
Yes, I am.
A$AP Rocky was arrested for assault charge.
In the field, how you feel?
Yeah.
What's the deal?
Said
Ain't
that
no rocks, I just want a night.
some
Pull up
little
the light,
white guy
hop in the top. Cream
filed
on the
assault
cup, I
charges
just
on
want a
him,
light.
arrested.
It's triple season
But
with
thanks to
chicken
social
spots.
media,
The dragon, I'm spreading out.
there's another
Work hard, turn myself to a
video
boss.
that has
Spending the
surfaced
money,
There
no
we
matter
go.
the cost.
that says that he did not assault this man. This man assaulted him.
Okay.
It's showing that he's throwing the first punch.
Oh, okay.
And after that, I think he said, "Oh my damn, why I do that?" Because they drug him.
They should have.
They drug him. They threw him all on the ground, and I just lit right in, though.
But let me ask you this: did he, since the tape came out, is there any news of him getting arrested?
Who is that?
The white guy.
No, but this is the issue. They're saying now, will the prosecutor drop the charges, or will he just like, oops, I made a mistake, let it go, or will he go after the other guys as well? Because if you're gonna file assault charges on one, because it was a fight, you file assault charges on the other as well.
Most definitely.
But my issue is this, and I'm not trying to make this out of a race issue, but I'm on this the nigga, we call it like it is.
Better.
Why is it that white America, when they feel threat, they can kill you with a gun because I feel my life.
Yeah.
But if a white guy swing on you and you defend yourself physically with a fist fight, it's an assault charge.
On you for defending yourself.
Maybe I chose not to use a gun when I felt my life in threat.
Right.
I chose to use my hands
Right. It's
when I
self-defense.
feel my life in threat.
Right. Okay. My thing with this is most rappers, celebrities, period, whatever genre, whatever it is, have a security team. And
That's what it is.
And exactly. So my thing is that they just when they client got swung on by they didn't know who this guy was. They didn't know he was a crazy fan or anything.
He didn't swing on him. It's harassing them as a total.
Okay.
Then when the bodyguard tried to control the situation, you can see the dude trying to get a little belligerent. He swung on him. And he swung on him again. So after that point, he literally grabbed the guy by his shirt or whatever and just, I mean, like, just like a little dog.
But you know, at that point, he was a threat. In my opinion, he was a threat to them. 'Cause if you got belligerent and you was already, clowning a little bit, and then the security guy came in front of you and you kept going, I don't know if he knew if that was security or not, but still.
He knew.
Okay, well, if he knew, then he kept going, then he swung a punch. He tried to strike somebody.
Yeah.
But security team protecting their client. I don't see what the charges should be, but like you said, it's the negative, and it's probably a race thing.
Because
how you feel? What's the deal?
again, I'm just telling you culturally,
Okay.
a lot of my experience, Hispanics use a lot of knives. Black people, we're not afraid to fight. We have a lot of fights on neighborhood. So when our life is still threatened in the neighborhood, we gonna fight. We're not necessarily, but the neighborhood I grew up in, let me say that.
Yeah.
But it's self-defense or me protecting myself as I feel threatened should be determined by what I use to protect myself. Whether it was a knife, a gun, my axe, or my hand.
Right.
If this guy is putting my life in jeopardy, so I think, I have a right to defend myself. Just like white America have a right to defend themselves,
Right.
which they killing a lot of young black kids.
But you know, the thing with that is, why didn't a white guy go to jail?
Because initially, according to the first video, all you see is they jumping on white guys.
Right. Okay.
When social media came up with the second
Somebody
video,
dropped another
somebody else dropped another video, and it showed
That
the
sold
start of it.
that showed the whole enchilada.
That he did. He
Right.
initiated.
Okay.
But now, you ever heard nothing from the DA office about dropping any charges or we made a mistake or we going up the other guy?
I see a lawsuit coming on with Mason Rocky.
I doubt it. I wouldn't go as far as trying to sue the county. It's a mistake. It's
I
a
would just
mistake
say
based
it was a
upon
mistake.
evidence.
But I'm pretty sure when they got arrested, somebody said he swung on us first, or he swung first.
But it goes. You have to go with what the evidence.
We were
show.
threatened. Our life was in danger. We felt threatened by him.
You have to go with what the evidence show, and I understand that.
Okay, the evidence showing the truth now.
Well, it's showing the truth now. Right. But prior to that, they said Rocky was guilty. But now he's not.
I don't know about that one. But like you say,
We gonna
the
see.
world is very racist.
We gonna see what turns out to be.
Yeah, I hope it turned out right. But look at this way. What if he missed concerts and shows and all this?
Now they reimburse.
Oh, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Now, I gotta go to another issue.
Jump to.
Did you see the news this morning about the 2-year-old kid being shot? Be judgmental, call me jumping the gun. Y'all, everyone that watch the show, no, I don't. They say me all the time, Jimmy, your mom got too much liberty. You say anything, you don't know what you're talking about.
Nigga,
All right, you might be right until you prove me wrong. I don't care.
nigga, true.
That do not look right.
Oh, that situation.
For those who don't know, last night about 11:30, there was his son and a friend of his in a garage. Two guys approached him from fire,
Right.
shoot 9 to 10 times. For some reason my mic keeps going out. Shooting them 9 or 10 times in the air.
Right.
I don't know if one of the bullets went to the dad or missed the dad, but somehow the little boy got killed.
How you feel? What's the deal?
2-year-old. The friend was shot in the foot. Time out. The girlfriend come downstairs. She said she thought it was fireworks going on.
Right.
She's holding up 2-month-year-old son. Or how old he was, however. She holding
Face,
her son.
yeah.
They put a gun to her head and asked her for some money. We don't have any. They took off running.
Yeah,
Yo, and they did not have any face masks on. They had hoodies on their head. Must have been 2 black guys.
Yeah, that's when
That don't look too good.
they don't when you hear scenarios like that.
All that shooting and somebody gets shot in the foot.
Right.
And it's evident that the dad was a to shoot him that many times. He was a target.
But at the end of the day, the child got killed because of this situation.
Exactly. That's our But I can be wrong for what I saw when they showed the mom walking back in the house. She was not hysterical. I don't have any kids, but if my child would have been injured or shot, man, I don't know what I think. They can control me.
Yeah,
But I know everybody may not feel about their kids the way I probably feel about mine. I don't know. But that don't sound too good to me, bro.
Yeah.
I just hope that lady don't have nothing to do with that. And I hope that other guy don't have nothing to do with it.
Right, but
Because all this issues right now that's going on with these kids,
mm-hmm.
if he has anything to do, or whoever have anything to do with it,
Right.
man, I don't think God gonna have mercy on you.
I'll tell you what, when you hear scenarios like that, you just wonder, like, just wonder about, is there any foul play in it? Is it, is it set up, things of that nature?
Oh, man, we have,
And then for them to ask, where's the money, to say, we don't have
and
none.
they just left.
And then they just left.
Come on, you scared to see it.
No, I'm not scared to say it. No, I know it's a nigga truth. I'm just saying, like, why didn't she get hurt or something until they ramshacked the house to find the money? I don't know.
Time out.
But I guess that many shots somebody had to eat.
This is my opinion. If you go in there, you do something like that, You don't have anything over your face. That means you're identifiable.
Right.
Everybody in there probably gonna have to go, or at least try to make them go. Right. All this shooting going on in that garage. The friend shot in the foot.
Yeah, that's
Forgive me if I'm wrong, but the friend gets shot in the foot.
And they're in the garage, and this guy gets shot 9 to 10 times. Multiple times.
I'm quoting verbatim from what the news said.
Right.
He was shot at least 9 to 10 times in the abdomen.
Okay.
The little 2-year-old son.
What's the deal? Any on the rocks, I just want a
The
night.
friend was shot in the foot. The girlfriend or the wife, whoever she is, came downstairs holding the baby. The two people put a gun to one person put a gun to him and asked for the money. She said, we don't have any, and they ran off. Going on to the next subject.
That one is.
Oh my God.
We can go back.
Yeah, that.
God bless.
Yeah. Excuse me if I offend anybody. I don't know how y'all feel about this, but they need to lock her ass up. Same thing I said about Malaya Davis' mom.
Oh yeah.
With this situation here, they need to lock her ass up.
Okay.
That don't sound right.
Right.
I'm just telling like it is. So. I ain't scared to see it.
I mean,
the numbers on the TV, 832-649-8406. You can call in, say what you want to say. My opinion, she got something to do with it, or he got something to do with it.
I think the friend need to be drilled too.
All of them gonna be drilled.
Him and his one time in the foot.
That's just my opinion about it, bro. So we gonna go to I guess we go to this video right quick.
Yeah, let's check it out.
And we'll come back.
Definitely.
Look, time is money.
Man, look, man, it only been a week, man.
But that's 7 days too long, man. That's 24 hours a day.
The world was made in 7 days. You understand what I'm saying, bro? And look how perfect it is. Look, I'm gonna tell you like this. You understand what I'm saying? Look at this brush leather, baby. Brush leather. You can't beat that. You can't beat that.
Right.
Look, man.
I see it.
It's the new school FUBU. Versace on steroids, baby.
Yeah.
You can't beat this.
That is nice.
Knobby's on the bottom, baby. Knobby's on the bottom.
Sit back, relax, and feel this vibe. Ride and grind, ride and grind. If you hustle on 9 to 5, ride and grind, ride and grind. Slow your motion, take some time. Ride and grind, ride and grind. Close your eyes and ease your mind. Ride and grind, ride and grind. Sit back, relax, and feel this vibe. Ride and grind, ride and grind. If you hustle on 9 to 5, ride and grind, ride and grind. Slow your motion, take some time. Ride and grind, ride and grind. Close your eyes and ease your mind. Ride, ride, yeah, ride. I put in the time on my grind and my promo. To y'all it look fast, to me it's in slow-mo. I eat with my family, my hustle on no-dos. I pull up my phone and they posing for photos. We changing the game, ain't no room for you lanes. All that nonsense you claiming and ride at your brain. I got rappers and stitches, my spit is insane. Go off the chain, I'm some dope on cocaine. So cleanly, no stain, I hip hop with the grain. My fans say I'm hot, that's the reason I'm rain. Big move being made, they don't time.
Man, look here, man. I don't know what you want me to do. If I don't have no product, you know what I'm gonna say. Tell me what I'm gonna say then, man. I don't know what to say anymore.
You can't make no money till you get no product.
Exactly.
Sit back, relax, and feel this vibe. Ride and grind, ride and grind. If you hustle on 9 to 5, ride and grind, ride and grind.
I'm talking about, man. We can make a bag now, man. We can make a bag now, man. You got hats, you got shoes, man. Yo, what the socks at though, man? You got handbags and things. Oh, there you go.
Ride and grind, ride and grind. Slow your motion, take some time. Ride, grind, ride, grind. Close your eyes and ease your mind. Ride, grind, ride, grind.
I'm hustling, homie, I'm getting it in. Turning these counters and flipping this bin. Late night, early morning, I'm in it to win. Can't afford break time, is nobody.
What's good, brothers? What's good? It's gonna be up in here, man. You know, we'll take it, man. You know what I'm saying? We here. See him. We see him.
That straight up flies. I'll dig that. I like these, man. I'll take 100.
It's all about the way you move in these streets. Ain't chasing no cloud, I got facts on these feet. I'm about my business, I sponsor athletes. Think it's a game, who gon' sponsor my tweets? Eating's the brand, we came with that plan. Now it's in motion, we spreading like sand.
Man, what's going on, man? You ain't answering the phone and stuff, man.
I've been busy, man. I got to get these orders out, man.
Say, man. I need. Hold on. I need.
Damn that.
Oh man, damn, my birthday, man. I'm trying to make it to the house.
Look.
I'm in the overtime.
Remember, last night or the day before, wherever it was, I was drunk. But you gave me 500.
Oh,
right?
man,
Hold on. We still got 1,500 people.
Oh my goodness, man. Let me get this. Man, I'm in the bind right now. I got this.
Skip it.
I got you,
Skip it. Like that peanut butter.
Check it out. I got you covered, man. I got you covered.
Oh,
Man, I gotta get this stuff out though, man. I gotta get it out. I'm in a hurry.
So this ain't up?
No, I gotta put all this product right here and find somebody else's order. Oh, come on, man. This is going over to China, dude.
This ain't up. Can we be here by 5 o'clock?
Oh man, it's killing me. Day my birthday.
Man,
I'll tell you what.
look.
Got you covered. How about that? I got you.
You gonna
covered.
make that miracle?
I'll make it happen for you. I'll make it happen
Magic
for you.
man.
Hey, they say Jesus was black.
There you go. I got you.
All right, y'all, we back.
To the naked truth.
Naked truth. And again, somebody just hit me on the phone saying somebody issue with that child.
Right.
Still, it don't sound right to me.
Nah,
I still think she got something to do with it. And again, lock her ass up. So we're gonna bring our guest on.
Yeah, yes indeed.
Miss Lydia Baker. First of all, let me say something before we bring this lady on.
Okay, come on.
I heard her at the Mind, Body, and Soul Explosion. And for some reason, something happened to her mic.
Okay.
But the things that she was saying, once I heard her say it, I said, no, I got to get on the show. This lady has some... I can't put the words together.
She was on point.
It's rare that I'm flabbergasted by anything. And
Right.
I'm speaking, you know, I can talk about... I always got something to say.
But you know, when we first heard her, right, like before the explosion started, when we interviewed her, and she was hitting everything... She was hitting the nail right on the head, and she was very real with everything she spoke. So she was very genuine.
So true.
Most definitely. So without further ado,
we're going to bring in our life coach, Miss Lydia Baker.
Miss Lydia Baker. Come on around here.
AKA
Come on, make yourself at home at the Naked Truth. Come on in here.
Speaker,
come on in here. Yeah.
Let me take her mic off. But she on 4. There she go.
There she go.
Am I on?
Oh, yeah,
you
yeah,
on.
yeah. You on.
We going to make sure you on.
Yeah,
Well, good
most
afternoon. How you
definitely.
doing? I'm good.
You don't
I'm
got to worry about
blessed.
the mic. We're going to make sure your mic stay on.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank
And
you.
before we go any further, we always try to get our guests to chime in on today's topic. And I know you've been watching the news. What do you think about that situation with that little boy, the 2-year-old kid that was killed last night? Shot with his dad and a friend, and it's supposed to be a home invasion or attempted robbery or some sort.
Well, what I can tell you guys is that an investigation takes time. Just tell you from experience, it's peeling back layers. So what the media does, because I can tell you from experience in the media as well, I did that for a long time, that they only have the surface of the information. Okay? And so they are only able to put out just a little bit.
Okay.
Of course, there's more to it. Of course. And I will tell you that, excuse me, homicide crimes are not stranger crimes for the most part. They are acquaintance crimes. So when somebody is typically shot, especially like 9 or 10 times, somebody knows somebody. So I can kind of listen to a lot of things like that, and I already in my mind are going, okay, somebody knows somebody, and somebody probably owes somebody some money, and somebody probably has somebody's drugs, and somebody probably is lying. So now who's the difference in that? I have no idea. But, you know.
Not trying to be too personal, but do you have kids?
Of course I have.
Oh,
yes. I have one I gave birth to, and I inherited 2.
Okay. Now, how would you feel if someone told you your child was just murdered?
My mind can't go there.
Exactly. So, for as calm as this lady was this morning on the news,
but
there's
hold
two
on.
things.
I have to be a devil's advocate.
Because
you can be in shock. See, I have seen situations where I have walked up to a situation and a person was completely burned, right? Now, that should be hurting unless it's burned through several layers, but they should be screaming and they were just like sitting there because they're in shock. So everybody deals with something different. I'm not going to say that a mother was not in shock. I don't know. But what I can say is maybe, I'm not going to say she doesn't love her child or didn't love her child or had something to do with it. I'm saying maybe she was in shock. I'm just going to play devil's advocate on that. Okay.
That's good. I take that.
Okay. True. Okay.
I don't believe it.
He's not buying it.
right. I used to be a hospice worker for 3.5 years, and I saw how people suppress things.
That's right.
They
That's
suppress
right.
things just to cope with it.
Right.
That's
right.
right.
And later on, they deal with it.
That's right.
Because
I understand that.
because everybody different. I done seen people, as you said, be calm. I done seen some in the zone, and then I done seen some just go ballistic.
Lose it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so,
So
yeah.
it just depends on, because two gentlemen, you can never understand what it is to carry a life inside of you. Women are life givers. That's the great thing that God created us. One thing to do, not only, but one of the things that we can do.
Right.
And so my
She
mind
emphasized
cannot
that.
stretch, but I'm serious. My mind cannot stretch to the thought of not having my
Right,
child on this
right,
earth.
exactly.
See, but I'm different. I'm an emotional person. I'm talkative. I'm expressive. So now you tell me I broke my fingernail after a manicure. You might get my LaQuisha side.
Lord.
So now
right.
see my mind. So seriously though, my mind cannot stretch to not having my child. That's how I deal. But that's not how everybody. And I did hospice before too. So I've seen people pass away and people just stand and look. I've seen other
Exactly.
people. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Right.
So, you know,
For
it
the
just depends. Yeah. Just depends.
Very, very real stuff. Now, secondly, I heard you mention something about the ASAP Rocky situation. Don't roll your eyes like that.
Yeah.
I didn't. I just kind of here's my take on that. Okay. That happened in Sweden, which is a European country.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Europeans for the most part are predominantly Caucasoid.
Right.
Caucasian.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
In
So
America.
this young man is a rapper, African American, and he is in a different country. Okay.
Correct.
See, you have to abide by the rules of that country first and foremost.
Right.
Number two, you have a security team. I'm going to use our hometown celebrity, Beyonce. You'll never see Beyonce get into a fight. You
Right.
know why? Because there are people around her who are paid to do that.
Exactly.
So if this young man, from what I read quickly in the case, the young man had a security team. The man who was following him followed them for 4 blocks and was taunting the security team. The security team's job is to do what? Number one job.
Protect
Protect the
Fuse.
client.
Yeah.
Protect the client. You're
Protect the client. That's what I pay you for. I should never get into an altercation. But what a lot of African American men don't understand is, especially younger ones, that testosterone is high and they will react. Because, I'm not no punk. I'm hard. I'm not. But see, who has more to lose?
Right. You got to look
See,
at
I
that.
can walk away from a person swearing at me because I have more to lose.
Exactly. Exactly.
I'm somebody's wife. I'm somebody's mother. I have a job. I have more to lose.
Right.
So if you're following me for 4 blocks and taunting me, I pay you 2 to handle that. You go handle it while I keep going
Well, I keep
because
going.
I have a show to do. I have money to make.
Yeah.
And so now, who's lost more? The young man who was taunting them, or the rapper?
Of course,
Who's
the rapper.
losing more?
The rapper.
The rapper, of course.
Okay.
Of course.
That's my take on it.
So, from what I understood, he actually didn't get into the altercation with the guy. I thought security team threw him on the ground.
But why did the rapper get arrested?
It has something to do with him releasing the video. Yeah.
Of the fight.
Yeah.
Okay. Why again are you involved and you have the most to lose?
Again, I ain't no punk. I'm ASAP Rock. I'm gonna show you what I'm about. I just don't rap this. I do this
But
for
we
real.
don't. Do we know for sure that ASAP got in on that? Do we know that he threw a punch?
According to the video, it does not. From what I saw this morning,
Okay.
from TMZ, they showed the second video that was released.
Okay.
From what I saw was that he never actually physically touched the guy.
Oh, good, good.
But his bodyguard, the big guy,
Yeah.
I mean, chunked him around like he's a piece of paper.
That was
And
his
that's what
job.
he's
He
paid
did
to
his
do.
job.
That's what he
He
is
did his
paid
job.
to do.
And because he released the video some on social media, that's what they got him for.
Now, did they tell him don't do that?
Now,
'Cause
that could have been
that's
against the law
evidence.
in that country.
And then if it is
Okay.
evidence, if you are
Okay.
collecting evidence and I say to you, do you have any evidence? And you say to me, no,
Okay.
I don't have any evidence.
Right.
And then you release it, you have violated the
I think
law.
that's what
Okay.
they got him for.
Okay.
So
Okay.
what? Who has more to lose? My question again.
ASAP.
I'm just saying.
ASAP.
See, it go back to what we said the other day about
Okay.
Cardi B. You just getting your bag.
Uh-oh.
Don't
Right.
give your bag to nobody else.
Right, right.
And
That's what I'm saying.
She letting somebody get a bag
People will
already.
taunt
She
you and
threw
everything
a shoe.
else.
For real, Cardi?
Yeah, and an ice cooler.
I'm going to tell you something. You all,
Hey, that's
if
assault.
if you do not grow up with your money, you will face these kind of problems.
Right.
See, it's some kind of badge of honor to go to prison and be a rapper. I think it's stupid.
Yes.
I do not want to go to prison.
Rappers want to rappers want to rap sheet.
Which is
Which is not smart.
It is not smart.
Which is not smart.
Okay,
at all.
time out. A guy that used to do their music,
Yeah. Me too.
it gets in your brain that gives me some credibility with my fans.
Well, let's start the
some
movement to
people.
change that. You two are in the community and work in the community. So let's start the movement to eradicate that, because that's ignorance. And I'm so tired of brown men acting in ways that make up. Remember, we were talking Saturday. If you're sick, I'm sick. And if I'm sick, you're sick.
Exactly.
Because if you do something in the community, you know, whether you want to say it or not, and you all don't tweet me and whatever that, be mad at me. But if you do something as a black man, it does reflect on me as a black woman. It does.
And explain to them how that. I understand that.
Yeah. Well,
because a lot of people don't understand how what I do.
My God. It does.
I did is on me. My bad.
And vice versa.
Gonna do with it.
Well, because it becomes those people. Now, whatever race, because listen, every race has those people.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. We can start. Asians are known for carrying cash. It's just well known. They never, you know, is it stereotypical and ignorant saying yes? Okay. Brown men, not just brown African American men fighting. Okay, dressing a certain way, using the N word on self, but being mad when someone else calls you that.
Okay. Yes.
So now, does that affect me? Yes. So young women, I'll use young women. Young women, young African American women calling each other the B word. Okay, that's become very comforting. That happens to be a female dog in heat. So I would never answer to that because I'm someone's wife, mother, and
auntie,
a minister of the
everything.
gospel, auntie.
Right.
So that's not me.
And that's a status quote today.
It has become that.
Divas,
and so now other races see black people overall as being bees.
Okay.
So when you have other races call you that and you get mad and get into a fight, that's one reason why Oprah said she'll never have certain people on her show back in the day, because she's never going to use that. That word was used to belittle and degrade us.
Right.
And now you have rappers of other nationalities calling African Americans that. I think that's really stupid.
Okay.
I even heard.
Okay,
I want you to say what you said, but I even heard Hispanics using the N word toward each other as if that was some type of endearment or brother or my homeboy.
J-Lo used it in her song.
Not just, well, now the word has become where everybody can use it in certain instances. Certain places I used to work, I didn't see every culture use it. I guess it's like
endearing. It's supposed to be endearing now.
Well, some of them would use it to try to be hard. They call themselves trying to be street, and I've seen it from white, black, Asian, Indian, all the way down the board, near this, near that. You know, and these happen to be juveniles. You know, trying to fit in, trying to walk a certain way. Okay, but let me ask y'all this. Of course, we know not every young black male dresses a certain way. Not every black female
but see,
talks a certain way.
That's the effect that the
that's where I'm going with.
generalization
That's where I'm going
has
with.
on us.
Right. Do you feel the negative always gets glorified way more than the positive when it comes to our people?
Most definitely. I have natural hair. I'll use that as a prime example. Because I have natural hair, people assume I'm not intelligent or educated. And I'm both. I'm very well educated.
What's talking about?
I'm very intelligent. Yes.
How does that have anything to do with your intellect?
Because it's a way that people think. And actually, in certain states, people cannot give you a job if you have dreads, and it's okay. The law says it's okay. Now, California happens to be one of the first states that says you can't discriminate for people against natural hair. But that is true. I mean, and so I wear my hair a menagerie of ways, so many different ways. But when it's natural, people assume that I'm kept, unintelligent, uneducated, unruly, loud.
They should have been at the mind, body, and soul explosion, and all that would have went out the window.
They could see that now. But my thing is that lets you know what people think about your beauty, our beauty. because natural hair is beautiful. And I don't care if it's pressed, comb, you just got to sew in. Beautiful is beautiful. But my thing is when people look at you a certain way and then that ignorance jump in.
It does.
But we have to be careful with that.
We do.
We have to be careful not to further it.
We do.
Yeah.
And I understand what she meant. In so many ways that we're doing that.
We are. We are. We brown people, African descent people are doing that. And then, see, we African people, naked truth, we still struggle with light skin, dark skin, African versus African American, Nigerian versus African American. Yeah.
Oh my God.
We still struggle with that.
I think I shared this with Jay. I have been trying for the last 2 months to get some of my Nigerian co-workers on this show. Because the question was, why do so many Nigerian men hate American black men?
Not just
Nigerian. But you hear so many Nigerian men tell Nigerian women, don't talk to American men. They're no good. They're going to get you pregnant. They all just got gold teeth, tattoos, pants sagging. They don't have jobs. They don't care. They don't value anything. They have so much stigma on us.
Stereotypical ideologies.
You know what? Because that's what the media exposes, and that's what they see. Just like
That's
with us,
what a lot
because a
of
long
us do
time,
too, guys.
if you didn't know any better, nobody taught you, you would think over there, over in the motherland, you would think everybody running around still
no
throwing
shoes on.
spears
Yeah.
with no shoes on and everything.
Yeah.
Running around for toys.
Yeah.
But at the same way, they looked at the media over here and they seeing young black men getting arrested, shooting, gang violence, whatever it may be. So, and a lot of times people tell them before they even come over here, because when I was in school, a lot of guys came over from college and you met them.
Yeah.
And, you could tell the different tension of who wanted to stay away. Some were different. But some parents told them, be careful hanging with black men.
That's it.
Because they're going to get you in trouble.
They don't want to
you
work. They don't want to do their college work. Education is not important to them. And, in a lot of other countries, especially a lot of African countries, education costs. And so people have to pay for it. Here it's free in this country. And a lot of African descent families will tell their children who come here, don't mingle with black people in this country because they don't take education seriously, and it's very important. So so black people, African descent Americans struggle with that within ourselves. We still got that light skin, dark skin, straight hair, natural hair struggle that in our own culture we're dealing with. So we have to be real. My belief is we be real, we get healed. That's what I talk about. Be real and get healed.
But no one wants to see themselves as they are.
Ooh, now John,
I don't know.
Well, I'm not trying to have a religious conversation, but I got to go back to the beginning in the book of Genesis.
I will.
When God told Adam and Eve, the day that you eat of the knowledge of the tree of good and evil, you shall surely die. Well, it wasn't talking about a physical death, but the death to the knowledge of who you are. They died to the knowledge that they are spirits having a human experience. Now we think we are humans trying to have a spiritual experience. And we have been getting further and further and further and further away from that concept as to where now Nike just say, obey your thirst. Whatever you like, whatever you want to do, just do it. To hell with who you are, just do what you feel like you want to do. No one know who they are as a person. And I feel until you know who you are, you'll never know what you want. You'll never know what the impact that you can have in life. So, yeah, to be real is to be healed, but to be real is to see who you are. And no one wants to look in the mirror and see themselves as they are.
But who we are we are crafted in the image of the Creator. Now I agree with most of that, but before I'm a life coach, before I'm anything else, I am a minister of the gospel. So I agree with much of that. But when they were created, they were perfect images.
Right.
Okay. So there was no corruption or problem.
Right.
Okay. But in their acceptance of doing that, and we're not going to even go into that the lady led the man. Okay. But
so tell the nigga truth of it. It is what it is. She got misled by the enemy.
She was deceived.
We've been running
she was deceived.
Y'all know how it is.
She was deceived. But, if we can recall, because in my belief, in my faith, Jesus came and made that connection. So if we can recall that I am wonderfully created and marvelously created in God, I am who He made. I'm perfect, not perfect without fault, but I am perfectly made. So in that image, that's what we have to remind ourselves. I'm not bad because of whatever. So Do I make mistakes? Yes, that's part of my human experience.
Right.
So I think kind of the opposite. If we really valued who the Creator formed us to be. So the word in when God created man means he formed him, scooped him from the dirt, and shaped him into this perfect being. And then he puffed into his face spirit. So males, that's also came your strength. We'll have a Bible school lesson in a minute, but that was also your strength. So I think we are wonderfully and perfectly made. We just have to get that in our mind.
The reason it is so difficult to get that in our minds because we don't see no value in it. We don't see no monetary gain in knowing that. Why would I spend time on doing it? I like, I'm not Muslim, but I like something that I learned from the minister, Farrakhan. He said, if you're going to take something out of these people's life, you have to replace it with some substance that's equally or greater value.
Right.
So if I'm telling you to study who you are by you being wonderfully and marvelously made, you got to understand what this is going to produce for you.
Right.
When you know who you are, you know what you're here for, you know what your abilities is, and that in itself is going to produce an entire fulfilled lifestyle for you.
You also won't behave in certain ways.
Exactly.
Once you realize who you are and whose you are, you will not. So it doesn't matter if someone says to me, calls me the B word.
Right.
I'll never answer to that because I know who I am and whose I am. But somewhere that became lost, and that's why it's okay for young ladies to call themselves that.
Right.
And be okay with that because they don't know who they are. And so they are accepting that we are like sheep led to the slaughter. Oh, Nike says just do it. Okay. I can eat everything I want to eat. Okay. But for every action, there is a reaction.
Right.
So calling yourself that today, you're going to act like it tomorrow.
Right.
You're going to act like it.
And it just shows some people don't have that spiritual foundation because they've been tossed to and fro. They go whatever flowing, and they don't have no strength, no foundation, no boundaries, no anchor.
That's right.
Anchor. Okay.
Yeah, that's
okay. Yeah. On that note,
she
mentioned previously about the attendance in the black church. Why the attendance that low in the black church? Because this is the thing that the black church need to be teaching. They need to have that spiritual foundation, or that anchor, where they won't be tossed to and fro. But,
okay. Ladies first.
No, man. Ladies first. Led us to the apple, to the tree. Come on. No, I'm messing with you. Come on.
No. We go. This is the nigga truth. We gonna let the lady. She raised her hand first.
The honest truth, why attendance is going. First of all, we got to give black ministers a break because you have to understand that they were not for years allowed to go to seminary. So they didn't understand that breaking the word down in Hebrew and Greek is imperative.
Right.
That's how you truly know, because like we're sitting here saying the N word now. People are trying to flip that to make it positive. But if somebody read that 40, 50 years ago in the 60s, or they'd be like ready to fight. Well, some people still are ready to fight because, so you got to understand some words in Hebrew and Greek, depending on what that word's original context, people don't understand it.
It's
so
different.
black pastors were not given that opportunity. They were just given a Bible and knew that they were called by God. Okay. And Christianity, of course, Africans were taught once they arrived here. Okay, so Africans have a whole lot of different beliefs and religions. Okay, so when black pastors were given Christianity information, they were given to like slaves. I don't know if people knew this. Slaves, when they attended church on the couple hours they got off from working in the field, their black pastor would just sing to them. They didn't really know the word because they couldn't read. So they would just sing to them about different songs, right? So that's how they started preaching. So attendance of the black pastors through the years did the best they could with the knowledge that they had, like many of our parents. Okay? So now that you have a new crop of ministers who are actually going to seminary, that's why you have, like Juanita Bynum just got her doctorate the other day. So she's Dr. Juanita Bynum. 50 years ago, there was no Dr. Juanita Bynum. One, she couldn't afford it. Two, there was not a seminary.
Three, they were going to allow it.
Oh, okay. I was going to say there wasn't a seminary that would have allowed a black woman. Okay. So now as African American pastors are learning and they're
Mhm.
going and studying, okay?
Right.
So they're able to teach the word, okay, in a way that makes it applicable. You can't just tell me don't fornicate, don't commit adultery, because I am a human. I have urges, you
Right,
have
right.
desires,
Okay, right.
okay? So you got to tell me, give me some applicable ways not to have sex out of marriage.
Right.
Okay, one, don't be going on a date and staying past a certain time because that's a booty call. Okay,
Right.
give me some
Give me-
for real.
Give me some foundation. Give me something to hold on to. Yeah.
So if you can't,
Give me
if
some
he's
rules.
that cute to you, you've had the intimate experience. I almost said the word. You've had the intimate experience. You don't want to slip. You want to be celibate to make sure he's the one. One, y'all don't need to have no drinks. Because
Right,
alcohol
right,
gonna make you
right.
comfortable and warm. Two, you need to
Yeah.
let him
Some
go home
people
and you
just
go
blame it on
drive your own car.
Right.
Don't let him come pick you. So you got to put some things in place
Certain
that will
barriers.
help you not to do that. I hear
Okay.
him. I hear him in
Right.
the spurt.
Okay.
I hear him in the spurt.
Go ahead. I ain't
You
gonna say
you want to go ahead?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
I want to
Okay.
be the
No,
day,
Can
today
you
gonna
go?
be the first
Can
day
you
I
go?
behave on this
Can
show.
you go?
Okay.
Because I hear
Okay.
him in the
All
spurt.
right. Let's go back some. Okay.
Okay.
Well, of course they when they could read, they had like a slave Bible.
Yeah.
And certain verses they had,
Pages
but
missing.
yeah, exactly. But let me jump on this. Okay. God called you. You have a sermon. You have to study. Now it's been decades. Now it's been long time.
Yes.
Okay. Study to show thyself approved. Correct.
Yes.
So when you get up there and you've been to preach this word and you didn't prepare, don't give me God will give you a vision, He give you a spirit,
Yes,
He
He
give you a
will.
word to speak, but you still have to prepare.
Yes, you do.
And when you get up there and you don't prepare to feed your flock or wherever you're preaching, that's an issue. Like you said, you didn't give me nothing applicable.
And they're
to
going to answer for that.
And exactly
You do?
because they getting
the
judged
Bible-
on a whole nother
yes, they
realm.
do.
They getting judged on a whole nother realm than the average Joe.
That's right. That's right.
So when they get up there and they try to pimp the congregation for money or whatever else or whatever hustle, and nothing's flowing back to the people or they not feeding the people right, that's the issue. So my question to you, those who all these Bibles and knowledge and different versions and different applications of the Bible, and you not studying the Greek, and everything, and the Hebrew, what can you say about those people who steady feeding people and things of that nature?
Well,
it's
it's so
available.
interesting that you said pimp the community, pimp the congregation.
Yeah.
That happens.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you that the Bible does speak of that. Those people who lead the flock astray, there is a special place in hell for them. So they will answer for that. And I'm going to tell you this before I answer it. I've been around seniors a lot in my career, in my life. And sometimes people are seeing Mr. Jones, right? Oh, Mr. Jones is such a sweet man. I don't know why he's suffering so hard and why he going through. Sometimes people reap later on in life.
Right.
You do not
Right.
know what the Mr. Jones you see now. You said you worked in hospice. That Mr. Jones in hospice may not been the Mr. Jones who was Mr. Jones
Back in the day.
me and Mr. Jones. So
Yeah.
that might have been not
We
been that
got a
same.
thing
So I'm saying that even though we
going
let it go or we don't see them reap, they reap.
Right.
Okay. So yes, I have an issue for a man or woman of God
Right.
who doesn't feed the congregation, because that's the word, feed my sheep. Okay.
Right.
So if you are a pastor and my personal opinion, that's all you all asking me, is that if you are driving a fancy car and live in a nice house and the predominance of your congregation lives below the poverty line and you don't have job training skills at the church,
Right.
you don't have a lending closet, you don't have interviewing class, you don't have a
Right.
food
Come on
pantry,
now.
because that is what the church is
Thank you.
supposed to do.
Well.
Okay, the church is supposed to do that.
Amen. Like some wrong.
And that's what, because and here in Houston, when I was coming here, I have a
Right.
friend who came in from California. We were coming here and there was a man on the corner doing the windshields, right?
Oh, they
Now,
everywhere.
we know a lot of
Yeah.
times that's game.
Yeah, they
I
hustle.
know a lot of times that's people who are trying to get money for drugs
Right.
because they may have some type of
Right.
mental illness. But there should be a place that the church has
Right.
set up for people where they
Come on
can
now.
get some real assistance.
Exactly.
And so
Which-
not just dependent upon the government to do that.
Right.
Every church should have a food pantry. Every church should have a
Right.
lending closet. Every church should have a education class for
Right.
parents, a drug rehab.
GED
Yes,
classes,
yes, GED classes. Every church should have that. 2 members, 20,000 members. And if your church is not going out into the highways and byways, that ain't church.
Right.
Y'all
right.
just having a community group, a
It's
meeting.
a building, and
Y'all
also
having a group meeting.
A Christian club.
Yeah.
basically.
Exactly.
And also, I don't see a lot of pastors preaching, "We are the church." You know, you have the 4 walls, of course.
This minister does. Now, I'm not a pastor, but this minister does.
Awesome. Okay. And speaking of that, a lot of times I observe, I see certain pastors who, sometimes it's their certain members in their flock who are truly walking right that keep people there, but but I see they have certain pillars that's really holding people there. But when I see things, I don't really see them preaching like you are the church. Be the church outside. Just don't come Sunday. Because I'm going to tell you experience I have. It was this young lady, won't say no names, but every Sunday, praise and worship, she jumping and going and flipping and flopping, praise and worship going. She letting it loose. Woo, woo, hallelujah, all that. You know what I'm saying? I saw this same woman Monday at the grocery store coming out, her and her daughter. I'm like, hey, how you doing? She was like, hey, I'm all right. I'm just trying to make it. Now, this is a young woman. I'm just trying to make it. You know, it's just so much going on in this world. I just saw you yesterday morning jumping and praising. So my thing is, was it a show?
No, but I'm happy.
Was it a show?
Please let me address that, because listen.
And I'm not
if you go, I know you're not dogging her out.
Right.
Every Sunday, okay, I have a cup over there, right? Okay. If I pour into that cup, it's going to get full, right?
Right.
Okay. I cannot pour into that cup one time, drink out of it, and expect it to stay full, can I?
No.
You cannot go to church one day a week, receive a message from the pastor who pours into you, and it lasts you all week. Do you eat once a week? Now, I'm very picky about what I eat, but do you eat once a week? Do you eat natural food once a week?
What's natural food?
No, I eat every day.
Do you eat meat and beans and
Meat,
rice
beans,
once
greens,
a week? Do you
yams?
eat that once a week? No.
Like
So
Shirley
you
Caesar said.
cannot eat spiritual food once a week and
Exactly.
expect to be strong. You cannot go to the gym one time and expect to have a great figure.
Right.
So, and on your own time, you have to pour into yourself, which means that young lady and anybody else, you got to get in the word yourself.
Feed
You
thyself.
have to eat yourself, okay? So, like you said, it's too many Bibles, too many phone applications.
Right.
So if she trying to listen, I'm in a storm right now. I'm in the midst of a storm in my life.
Okay.
I am going out to so many churches. I went back on my knees. I said, now God, you do know I'm in a storm. You do see what's going on in my personal life, right? I have been preaching or speaking every week since the situation started. So if I don't feed myself, if I wait for my pastor on Wednesdays and Sundays, I draw up. I don't just eat natural food on Wednesdays and Sundays. I eat my spirit. I have to eat my spiritual food the same way. So I have to eat it every day. I get it before I get my feet out of the floor. What works for me and part of my life coaching. Before I get out of the bed, I open my eyes. I tell the Creator, God, who I call God, thank you for watching me all night long. Thank you for encamping angels around my bed. I give homage to my Creator right then. Before I turn on the TV, do anything else, I play something spiritual immediately. I feed my spirit, because the world going to beat you.
Yes.
I mean, on a real tip, you guys are black men.
Right.
You're going to get pulled over before I get pulled over.
Yes.
You're going to get stopped before I get stopped. You're probably going to get frisked before I get frisked.
We're going to get turned down for
You're
the
gonna
job
get turned down for the
before
job.
you get turned down.
Your application going to get turned down before mine gets turned down. But nevertheless, so you've got to feed yourself put on your whole armor
Okay.
before you go out the door.
This is Lydia Baker, life coach, motivational speaker,
Minister first.
A minister first.
Yeah.
And please understand what a minister is.
Yeah.
A minister is not a preacher or a pastor. A minister is a servant.
That's it.
We all are.
That's it. You know what? Now
some pastors forget that they servants
not,
too.
Not some pastors, but when people, I met so many guys say, oh, God has called me to the ministry. I say, to do what? To the ministry. To do what? There's so many aspects. Your foot, your hand, your eye, your ear. What are you? I'm be a minister. Okay, then get out there and serve.
Yes,
exactly.
But when they hear minister, first thing that a lot of people think, I'm going to start me a ministry.
Yeah, I want to.
That's why you have 3 million churches in Houston.
Exactly.
You got church on every corner.
And my thing, when God is calling you, I kind of feel He's calling you to start studying, start preparing, start getting ready, for you can truly know what your calling is. Because everybody want to run to the pulpit.
Oh, and and if you are called to the ministry, see, I don't have a problem if I sit under a bishop. If the bishop says, I need you to do the bathroom ministry, okay, not a problem. Wear the gloves.
Right.
See, I don't. Titles don't. It doesn't even matter if somebody calls me minister. Doesn't matter. My name's Lydia. So let's call me by that. Now,
if people want to get in touch with Miss Lydia Baker, how they do that?
You know what?
God will lead you to her.
Well, I'm
Trust
going
in God.
I'm going to tell you to reach out to me on Messenger, Facebook.
Okay.
Messenger.
What's your Facebook?
I'm Jeanette Baker on Facebook, Jeanette Baker, and you can reach out to me on Messenger that way. Last time I gave my number on your show.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, at the event.
Did somebody they reached out? What?
So what I'm gonna need to do?
Time out. I missed some. Hold on, y'all. I know I'm slow sometimes.
We need some callers.
How do we get 832-649-8406? Y'all didn't hurry up. It's about time for us to get off the air.
Right.
But how do we go from Lydia to Jeanette? I missed something.
No, you didn't. That's my name.
So where Lydia come from?
That's my name.
Where Jeanette come from?
We all have several names. We have several names.
No, you don't.
I'm Jimmy the Square Guy. That's my name.
Okay.
What is it?
Jimmy the Square Guy. The one talk fly to you before he lie to you.
What?
Yeah. He talk
square
fly
guy.
to you before
That's
he
me.
lied to you.
That's me.
Okay. How much time we got? We running.
We kind of running short. So
What we're looking like.
yeah,
Okay.
the time shot by this.
Yes, it did.
Can we just get her to like kind of touch on like the mental health awareness thing that she did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, quickly, what I always say is, unfortunately, brown people who are brown. Now that's across the board. Where brown people do not seek help for mental health illnesses.
Right.
And so what I see, one of the questions I received at the symposium was, what do I see as in the community one of the biggest diagnoses, and that is bipolar and schizophrenia. And so whether people know it or not, street pharmacology, street drugs will sometimes calm the voices. Crack may calm the voices of a schizophrenic person. Nobody, I always say this, guys, I would like to leave your audience with this. Nobody sitting 4th, 5th, 6th grade, 1st or 2nd says, Johnny, what do you want to be when you grow up? Hakeem, what do you want to be when you grow up? Oh, I want to be an addicted crackhead who walks the street and talks to myself. Oh, me. I want to be schizophrenic and see things. So no one says that.
Right.
So anyone suffering with addiction or mental illness, no one wants to be that way.
Right.
No one chooses to be homeless and selling their bodies. You may see a woman on the street selling her body for a drug. It is because 90% of the time she has some mental illness. I also say everything buried ain't dead. If it happened to you when you were 2, 3, 4, or 5 and it wasn't dealt with, you just buried it. It ain't dead. But we got to deal with it so we can get real and get healed.
Got to dig it on.
Well, I like that closing so we can get real.
What?
I like.
Y'all got to call me back.
Everybody that comes
definitely.
on this show wants to come back. This is good. We
Not me. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
No,
I love
this
you guys.
Need to come back.
I
you
love
need
Definitely.
to come back. You really do.
You really
you guys. God
Really
bless you.
We'll follow up. So
Thank
we
you
can
for
really
doing what you do. I
so we can
appreciate
really
that.
get really get into the part about the mental. I like how you say about how the drugs quieten the voices.
A lot of times I see that. I see that.
And I've heard. I never thought about the drugs with mental health patients, but I've heard guys that drink alcohol say, "I do it to deal with my issues." That's to quiet the voices. I never associated the drugs with the mental illness people.
Right.
Yes.
That makes sense.
And hurt.
Yeah.
A lot of times hurt.
Yeah.
People who are hurt, they just want the pain to stop. And I'm going to leave you with this. You want to know who the biggest drug dealer is in the world?
Who?
Government.
He or she wears a white coat and a stethoscope and writes a prescription for it.
Yeah.
Oh, but they stopping that now. Now that this CDB oil is popping up.